Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Gearworks is one of the most bizarre games I've ever played, and I kind of wonder how a game like this gets made and who it was made for. So it's kind of like a puzzly math type of game mixed with Sudoku, where you're putting items out and you're trying to trigger to get those items to make things with the gears. And I don't really understand the whole steampunk thing. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't get it. I understand that, but they're always working with gears and steam. I know it's an alternate universe. I understand what's going on. It's just not something I get. So the theme to me was really boring. The aspects of it was extremely dry, and I didn't really have any fun playing this game at all. It's a little bit of you're kind of placing these tiles down to build other things, but I never really felt like I got an engine going. It never felt interesting to me about the decision I was making. It's very, very mathy, so you're going to be doing little small math problems in your head, which is going to lead to some analysis paralysis, or it'll be like, okay, is this the best way to go, or is this the best way to go, or this the best way to go, and you're calculating those things through. But I never really felt like I was charging towards something. I never felt like there was a big move that was coming. It was just kind of like a game to be a game. It almost reminds me of a game that maybe, I'm not putting anything on anybody, but it was like, I have a catalog of games, I want something in this time frame, and I want it to have steampunk on it, and this game is good enough, let's release it without deciding whether the game was fun. Yes, it mechanically works, but is it fun, and what fun is in it? I couldn't find any. So for us, it's going to be a Purge with the AP issues, an uninspiring theme, nothing really connected to me, and really just an abstract, mathy little game. Didn't find it appealing at all. It will be a Purge for us. Here is Gearworks, which you can see is a pretty striking cover on it. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a bunch of cards that really don't have much artwork on them. Just kind of gears and spokes and whatnot. And these have some artwork on them, but they're like blueprints or drawings, so didn't really strike my fancy too much. These will be the goodies that you're trying to earn. These are nice cardboard, if not a little generic. This is probably where the game shines a little bit. You're going to have these lightning, which is your sparks that you'll be having. These are pretty nice little components. Otherwise, yeah, I think the box could have been a little bit smaller. I guess it didn't have to be this big, but it works just fine. Here's rule books, a little bit different picture than the front. You have a picture of the components over here and kind of what some of the cards do. This is set up with a picture, some two-player rules here if you want to play two players. And then you're going to jump right in. This is really the game right here, main focus. The font is a little small. It's a little hard to read, but there are pictures with examples over here, which is a nice thing to do. End of the round, what you're going to do and how to score the game. Then it goes through each of the powers that you have and how to do solo play. You probably need, because the font's so small, probably 15-20 minutes to get through this. It's a weird game because it's not really that thematic. What you're doing doesn't make a lot of sense compared to what the theme is telling you that you're doing, so it's not going to connect right away. It's maybe 15-20 minutes and you'll be up and running, but you will need to go to this as you're playing. So the game starts, you're going to have your spokes across the top, A, B, C, D, E, and a pile of your goods, and 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. I'm kind of squeezing everything in so it can fit, so you can see it. So on your turn, you can play a card. You can't play in the same column. It can't have the same goodies. So I could play this here, but I could not play this here because it's the same. Also, when you're going, it needs to be either ascending or descending order. So if I wanted to play this, I could, and the numbers would have to start getting larger as it goes this way. Say this person wanted to play this card. They could not play it here because these are the same. Could not play here because it's not moving up. But let's say that this one right here is getting higher. You could go here, or if you wanted to go the other way, you could play it here, thus blocking somebody off. The key to this is that when you play something, you're now controlling the area, so you will have this pointed up towards you. So if I play this here, I would control both of these. At the end of the round, if you control it, then you get the little goodie that you need. These are worth 2 points each, but can be worth more points if they happen to meet a blueprint that you have. So this is what you're trying to do. So if I had, let's say this propeller, it could be worth a different victory points, as much as 9 if I have both of them. So at the end of the round, you have to get rid of any parts that you can't use or put on a card, only worth 2 points, but they can be worth more if you can fill the blueprints. That's pretty much how easy it is. You're going to play 3 rounds. Each round is going to just kind of reset, and you're going to try to do the same thing again. I think that's really not because the game has any type of flow to it, but probably take out the randomness and the luck out. If you do it enough times, hopefully that will even out. That's how you play Gearworks. Who should buy this game? Maybe if you like steampunk, but I'm not really sure that theme comes along all that great in this game. A little bit of Sudoku-esque about putting these items down and putting it together. I don't know. The package really didn't work for me. In this section of the review, I always like to say, who would this work for? I like to say, I think this game would work for this person. So then you say, hey, I like those kind of things. Maybe this will work for me. So every game isn't negative. There's positives and negatives every game. It's one of those games I'm really not sure who this game is for or why it would work for you. So for me, if this seems appealing at all, I would say try it before you buy it. Absolutely not something for me and a Purge.